Welcome to FMTV Nerd Show with Peter Brown and Uncle Ed.
How you doing, everybody?
How you guys doing?
Sit up there, Ed.
Well, I'm very excited here, Peter. I think I'm a little low, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. How's that? That's a little better.
Yeah, I'm moving you at the same time. Sit up. Don't be so. Okay. Don't sit. Don't sit. Good posture.
There we go. Good posture. Everybody can see me. Look, I got my Dead Can Dance shirt on.
What is that?
It's a. You wouldn't understand, Peter Brown. But we'll get into music later. Right now, there's other stuff to talk about. Tons of stuff to talk about, and hopefully, we'll get a lot of people to join us in a bit. I already see a couple people sounding off, guys. Be sure to sound off real quick, and so we can mention you in just a bit. As you can see, there's Peter's background. Peter loves his background. He's such a nerd, man. He loves,
look
his.
At that. That's a good background right there.
Pirates of the Caribbean. What is that? Space Mountain behind you?
Yeah.
And Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Yeah. I meant to do this before, but
Oh, just to show off the Uncle Ed. I like the pew 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 around me. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
well, tons
to talk
today.
About. Yeah, last week Peter abandoned me. If you guys didn't know, if you guys didn't see that episode, it was a train wreck of an episode, I must say. But I got through it somehow because Peter's the guy. He's he's a nerd when it comes to all this technology and stuff, and I could maneuver through it, but.
You just need more practice. You just need.
He's
more
a
practice.
Guru.
That's all it is.
You're a guru, man. Come on.
No. You just need a little more practice. That's it.
Yes, sensei.
You actually, like on some of our soccer shows, you probably should host it, and then I join in, and so you can get a little more practice.
I think we're going to start doing that. Yeah, at least
like you run
every other week or something. Yeah, so that I can get a little bit more practice and see what's up. But yeah, tons of stuff to talk about. I don't know if, we're going to talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. But we do have a couple of things. We do want to watch a couple of previews. And, but I don't know, where do you want to start, Peter?
I don't know. Well, first, we always start these shows with saying hi to the people in the chat. I only see 2 people in the chat, but if there's more, say hi.
Where's the love, guys? Where's the love? I see that there's more people, but, they're not saying hello. They're shy. And we don't have this issue with the soccer show. Everybody chimes in, and
it's a new thing, and it is a weird thing that we're doing this on the soccer channel. But why not? But it may.
Why open up another channel and
start
if you already have this one? Right.
Yeah. No, I get it, but maybe not everybody else doesn't. So
I was actually looking up to see if we can get the FMTV thing because somebody's got it, and but they're not using it. So, I'm trying to see how I can reach out to them. Which, by the way, I do want to reach out to Richard Greenberg. If you could reach out to us. As a matter of fact, Richard Greenberg is one of the guys. What's up, nerds? Reach out to us on social media or give us some way to contact you. I'd love to talk to you because in the last show, he's like big time nerd, man.
Great.
Big time nerd. He's like, got all these cool, anecdotes that I think would be interesting for him to talk about, live and, instead of on chat. He's got some good stories. So,
gotcha.
Nerd stories.
Gotcha. Well, also in the chat, we got our old buddy Eric Thomas.
Hey, Rick.
One World, One Goal is in here. Are we going to talk anything about Serena on this show? Can One World, One Goal get Diego Serna into the nerd show?
Mm-hmm.
How do we mix the two?
She's got to find out with the way. I'm sure if anybody could do it, she can do it. She'll find a way to make him a nerd.
Yeah.
Okay. Richard Greenberg. I do follow him on Twitter. Okay. I'll reach out to you then on Twitter.
So Ed, why don't we just get started with something you brought to my I saw some of this on Twitter, but then you sent me this list of shows that DC is canceling or pending, possibly canceling and stuff. So for those that don't know,
this is huge stuff, guys. Big spoiler if you guys didn't hear about it, but
for those that don't know, Warner Brothers and Discovery merged, or Discovery bought Universal. I don't know exactly how that works, but from AT&T is the way I understand it. But to me, who knew Discovery was so big? I would think it'd be the other way around. Warner Brothers buys Discovery, but it's not. And so they get the new boss in charge of Warner Brothers Discovery, and he's looking at the slate of shows and movies and says, "Not good enough. Not good enough. You're out of here. You're out of here. Everybody's out of here." And the
lot of write-offs.
Yeah, exactly. They used it as tax write-offs. And I think the biggest story that got most people's attention was Batgirl. Batgirl, was $90 million spent.
Wow. I only want $1 million. They threw away $90 million.
$90 million and have still decided to can it. I mean, I'm like, can't you just at least put it on HBO Max? Which, see, I had heard it was always intended to be a smaller budget HBO Max type of thing. I don't know if it was going to get a screen release, but there were some reports that I read, Ed, that the preview audience hated it, but then I read somewhere else where it tested just as good as Black Adam.
Oh wow!
So, but the owners, the new president or whatever doesn't have belief in it or what have you. So canned it.
They're gonna can it.
Yeah, but
Peter,
it's go ahead.
So how does this work? Before you go into and your train of thought, how does that work out? I mean, that it's never gonna see the light of day.
No, that's what they say. It's done until. Well, here's the thing with DC, in my opinion. Nothing's ever really done. I mean, we were told there was no Snyder cut forever, and then all of a sudden there was, and it came out. I agree with here's what Richard Greenberg is saying. Once Warner Brothers Discovery do a one-time write-off, it can't ever be seen. So yeah, they did the tax write-off, and I guess what he's saying is if you do the tax write-off, it can't be seen. And I agree with Eric. Is like, hell, even just put it on Netflix or something. Come on, it can't be any worse than Wonder Woman 1984. I agree with basically the sentiment that Eric is saying. But if because of the law, tax write-off and stuff, But Ed, this is the part that's upsetting right here. This screenshot is Batgirl with Michael Keaton's Batman right there. That's Michael Keaton in this image that was leaked out.
Yeah, who's the guy in the middle?
I have no idea.
He looks like Carlos Valderrama
Carlos
something.
Valderrama.
Yeah.
See,
I didn't know he was a DC villain.
That's how we get Diego Serna mentioned in this.
Oh, there you go.
There's the connection.
Awesome.
But who doesn't want to see Michael Keaton back in the Batsuit? I mean, from what I understand, he may also be in the Flash movie. But
that's heartbreaking. Now that you mention it, and now I want to see the Batgirl movie.
Yeah, I mean, I love Michael Keaton as Batman. He's one of my favorites. Even though I never thought he looked really the part of Bruce Wayne. He doesn't really look like Bruce Wayne, but he did it so well. I mean, because it was, he goes from like what Beetlejuice to Batman. It was like it was
serious actor, and he did pretty well, man. I actually liked him as a villain, as Vulture too.
He was all right there.
So
he was all right there, yeah. Especially when he's giving Peter Parker that little talk in the car, threatening him,
Yeah, that was nice.
I turned around and I told my daughter, "That's how I'm going to talk to your guys, your boyfriends."
Exactly.
that's the talk I'm going to give to them.
Size them up. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Lock her up in a tower or something.
Yeah, so no Batgirl.
Wow.
What
else?
Well, that's the thing, though. I was like, I'm interested now because they took it away. I'm more interested than ever to see it. And it was I don't know anything about the actress other than she's pretty. I don't know anything about her. What else she may have been in. I'm not sure. Richard Greenberg is saying Michael Keaton is also supposed to be in the Troubled Flash movie. Yeah, that's what I understand. I'm not 100% sure, but I that's what I understood is that, because they're doing the whole, multiverse type of thing, just like
Right.
Marvel, but using the Flash and all that kind of stuff. But speaking of Flash, the Flash is canceled.
Yeah, and well, that one you could see it coming Flash. Because it was around for a very long time, Peter. I mean, I think it's on the 9th season or something like that.
Yeah, it is. But the funny thing is that was the whole headline. Flash canceled, and it makes you right off the bat think it's the Ezra Miller one. And because he's getting in all kinds of legal trouble and everything like that, and like Richard Greenberg was saying, he was found guilty in some charges.
Wow!
But from everything that was said in the there was like some sort of call that Discovery guy, Warner Brothers Discovery president, was on, and it sounds like that's still going forward. They still believe in the Flash movie. They may not believe in the actor, and they will probably end up recasting.
Right. They'll just do another universe type thing, and they'll just change the guy.
But that's the thing too, is people are saying, well, this Flash was beloved.
Should be the one.
People like this Flash, and I watched the Arrowverse Flash, the CW Flash, for I think the first 3 or 4 years, and then I kind of lost interest. But people like it, and I saw some image where like there was some sort of Ezra Miller crossover with him in one of the episodes, I think. So yeah, I mean, if you're doing this whole multiverse thing, why not say, okay, that's one version of Flash, and this is another version of Flash, and bring him. And people like this.
They got replaced or something. They went to different universes, and they just got stuck on this side or whatever.
The other version, yeah.
I'd be okay with it. I like this actor. He was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fine. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's already invested in the character, and yeah, it went for 9 years. So 9 years, I don't think you complain about it getting canceled. I mean, it was a successful run, 9 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. So he's good. Yeah. But and since we're talking about it, Ezra Miller's Flash is still going on.
Yeah.
Even though the guy's a train wreck, that poor guy is a major train wreck. Everything that's happened to him, but they're still going through with everything.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
And I do want to see that movie because Michael Keaton's going to come out. So it's, at least we're going to see him there since we're not going to get to see him in Batgirl.
Right, Batgirl. Yeah, and it's funny here's the thing is I could get why I was updating my daughter a little bit, and you see, I'm wearing my Batman shirt today. I was all Batman character, My wife, I told you, my wife is out like doing shopping, and she's like, "Hey, what do you think of this T-shirt for your Monday show?" I'm like, "How much is it?" If it's, $15 or less, I'm like, go ahead and get it. Cheap ones.
Right.
But
I wish my wife would do that.
Yeah, my wife supports.
No, she gets me shirts, but she gets me like all these, designer shirts and stuff.
No. We're going cheap. We're going cheap. This was like Kohl's or something like that. Kohl's or Target. Right. something cheap. But
But
yeah, But I don't have any nerdy hats, and so can't wear them.
I got to get more nerdy hats.
I don't have any nerdy hats.
That's on my shop list. So
yeah,
we're gonna do that because I don't know where I put my Elmo hat, but people love the Elmo hat.
Favorite.
Yeah, it's a fan favorite.
But I was talking to my daughter before doing the show, and she's like, "So what are you talking about?" And I told her about the whole Batgirl thing, and she goes, "But wait a minute, wasn't there another Bat? It was like a short-haired girl, and she got fired, and then they brought in another girl." And I said, "No, that's Batwoman." And she's like, "Wait a minute, there's Batwoman and there's Batgirl?" She's like, "What is it? Just a bunch of different ways to classify a woman?" I'm like, "Well, maybe. I don't know."
It is kind of confusing.
It is confusing. So I can get it. It's like, and the interesting thing is DC has said they're doing a hard reset. It's like, Snyderverse is done. They're behind the Shazam and Black Adam for now, at least. I mean, those are getting released, and then they said they want to do a 10-year plan, kind of like Marvel. And they said they're looking for their own Kevin Feige. They want their own guy to run it. And my thought, Ed, when you're main competition, and you're saying we want to be like them, you're always losing.
Right. It's they've got a good thing going, man. So they want something similar, And
I know, but when
DC's been losing for a while now, so
yeah, and that's the problem. Is Marvel has like made like this is what a superhero show, movie, what have you is, and if you're not that, then it's like it's good, but it's not a Marvel. And now DC is admitting that hey, we're not Marvel, but we want to be Marvel.
Right.
But
we want to do what they're doing because they're doing something right. But I like what Richard Greenberg's saying. Look, this show should be about Star Trek versus Star Wars shorts. I like that because on the last show I was talking about how I'm more into Star Trek because it's because I could relate with it because it's actually happening in this galaxy and stuff, in this in this quadrant or whatever, this universe.
Mm-hmm.
And Star Wars is just in a galaxy far, far away. So it's kind of like saying, it's pretend,
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Delta Quadrant, Gamma Quadrant. These are real things. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
They are.
I don't think so.
They actually did. And Beta Quadrant. Yeah. There's 4 quadrants within our universe. Yeah.
I don't buy it. I don't buy that there's a Delta Quadrant that you go through a wormhole and you end up trapped on there.
Well, now the wormhole thing is all hypothetical, but that it like, could happen.
I don't,
like
Voyager got trapped. I don't think that exactly exists there, Ed.
Well, it doesn't exactly.
Star Trek.
No, okay, that's hypothetical. I see where you're going here. Okay.
Okay.
I see.
So it's all.
But I'm just saying I can relate to it more because it has to do with Earth, and and I don't see the Earth in in the Star Wars galaxy. No Earth. It's a different galaxy.
You don't see. Cities. I was gonna say you don't see Earth, but you don't see any real cities in DC either. Really, I mean, they got Metropolis, and Gotham, and all that. Maybe that's part of their problem. I don't know.
Well, yeah, might be. But doesn't Marvel doesn't have any pretend cities either?
Not really. I think. Maybe a few here and there
within Earth, because I know like
Wakanda,
New Asgard, and all.
Yeah. But there's some, yeah. But I mean, for the most part, most of Marvel takes place in like New York.
Right.
In and around there. But as far as Star Trek versus Star Wars, I like them both. You can like them both. But I do lean Star Wars over Star Trek. But I like them all.
And I lean Star Trek. So
and the funny thing is,
I lean DC too. And you lean Marvel.
Yes and no. So I like...
There's a competition here, Peter.
I like Marvel content. But I tend to read, in my past, more DC comics.
Right.
Because I like Superman. I like those Boy Scout kind of characters. I like Captain America. I like Superman and stuff like that. But Batman was good because he's troubled and heavy. And I was a big Justice League reader. I had a lot of the Grant Morrison books back in the.
I had a lot of those, yeah.
Late '90s or early 2000s, whatever that was. But as far as like movies and TV shows, yeah, I'm more in the Marvel stuff because they're just, as we talked about, they're better. DC hasn't gotten their act together, and
yeah.
But I was saying to my wife, I was talking to my daughter about it because she says, "Oh, we saw a Star Trek shirt." And we thought about getting that for you. And I said, well, you should have. And I don't have any Star Trek shirts. I have a lot of Star Wars shirts. I don't have any Star Trek shirts. And but they didn't get it.
I had some, I had a whole bunch of them, man. I had a Green Lantern. But they somehow mysteriously disappeared. But it's all good. Well, Peter, before we leave the subject of DC reboot, what other is there any other franchises that are cut out? What else is there? Ooh, Wonder Twins.
Well, this was one I am so happy they're not doing. Who remembers this cartoon from the Super Friends? Wonder Twins, activate. I mean, that's me and you, Ed.
And in form of and he was like the worst because he was in form of anything watery.
Yeah,
so it was just like an ice.
You'd get he'd be like water, and then he'd go into a bucket, And then the other one
Yeah.
would turn into like a monkey or something and would pour the water underneath the door. Then he'd turn into a person again and open the door. And it was like so stupid.
Well, the monkey was Gleek, and Gleek was.
Okay. Well, then maybe she turned into the pail. I don't remember.
She turned into she would turn into an animal, but she'd be like, I don't know, an eagle or something, and he'd go into.
I just remember an episode where it literally turned into water, went into the pail. They poured the water under the door, and he opened. I mean, it was just dumb. And they were thinking about making a movie or a TV series.
Yeah, and he was all I think the only cool thing he was able to do, I think he became vapor one time, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but water vapor. But otherwise, stupid. I mean, he's kind of lame. Yeah, he's kind of lame. He was like, he would turn to ice a lot, and in form of an iceberg. Boring.
Yeah, I don't like it. But apparently Judge Dredd does like Wonder Twins. That's what. But
too bad he's not here to defend them, because I don't think anybody would defend them. I wanted to see what I actually was curious to see what they would do with it, but I was afraid it would be a nightmare.
Yeah. Well,
I think they should remain cartoons, and that's it.
Yeah, and bad cartoons too. But Richard Greenberg was mentioning that. This was interesting because I'm a big Disney nut. Alan Horn hired Kevin Feige, and he is now a senior advisor to CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery. So I had thought Alan Horn, when he left Disney, retired. So the fact that he's doing some advising with Warner Brothers. Alan Horn is also the guy responsible for, and people may love him or hate him for this, but it was his idea to start doing all these like live action remakes of the Disney animated movies. So the live action Cinderella, Lion King, and Aladdin, Maleficent, and all that kind of stuff. Those were his ideas to do this, and it worked because it made Disney a ton of money. But then just last year or the year before, something like that, he retired. He's getting up there, but apparently he's helping out over Warner Brothers. So I mean, he does know what he's doing. So
right, that's cool. That's cool. Hopefully you do something else. What other movies of course we already know that Black Adam's coming out, and they still got the Shazam movies coming out. They got Aquaman still on board. Yeah. We already talked about the Flash movie still on board. So anything else?
Yeah, well, ones apparently that are the other one that got canceled is Legends of Tomorrow. Basically anything on the CW, because from what I hear, they're going to sell off the CW. So so there's that. I don't care about that show. I never really got into it. I watched a little bit. But apparently they're saying Blue Beetle is still pending. It's possible that could get done. Green Lantern, it's possible that could get done on HBO Max. Batwoman was canceled. Again, another CW thing. The Penguin, which was off of the last Batman movie, is in doubt, which they shouldn't make, because that was not even a good Penguin. Even though I like the actor, he wasn't a good. It wasn't a good Penguin. That's not his. Peacemaker, I'm sure that's going to get made because
it was successful.
It was very successful. They're going to, and
I want to keep saying it. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, and I think I read that it's going to be made. It's going through. Gotham Knights was something that they were going to do on CW. That's probably not happening. Superman and Lois, from what I hear, is still.
I think it's pretty popular still. So
from what I understand, they're at least going to give it another year,
right?
And so, and then there's Titans and Doom Patrol. Who knows? Titans is good. I can't get into Doom Patrol, but Titans is good.
Yeah, I haven't gone. I watched a couple of Doom Patrol, but it just didn't do it for me. Titans is actually cool. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, Titans is really good. So Ed, other things I know you wanted to talk about, and you wanted to show trailers. And kind of give some thoughts and reviews. Coming up is She-Hulk.
And that's something that we were kind of worried about. Marvel's been doing everything really well, but we were kind of worried about that because, let's watch the trailer and. All right, if you want to watch the whole thing through or break it down.
Well, if you want to pause it and talk about it, just let's do that. But it's up to you. But it comes out on August 17th. So what? Just 9 days from now. So it's right around the corner. So this is the She-Hulk trailer with our pretty little faces in the corner.
Wow! Jeez, what the hell, man?
Still in control, no overwhelming feelings of rage.
No! A normal amount of rage!
You do revert back to Gen form when you sleep.
Was the air horn really necessary?
For comedy, absolutely. This is a multi-year journey you're about to embark on.
First thought, Ed, she looks good as She-Hulk, right? I mean, the way they made her look. I mean, they could have been maybe a little more muscular, I think.
Right. They made her very slender. You know, if she's pretty strong, I mean, she's showing off. So,
but I mean, overall, the graphics wise, I think she looks pretty good. Other than the fact that I wish she was maybe a little more muscular.
Right. I think.
Who's your best friend?
Nikki.
Spandex. Spandex is your best
It's
friend.
gonna be funny.
Being a Hulk asks for balance. You have so much more to learn. Yes!
So I'm clearly nailing it at all of these things.
If you want to go back to your life as a lawyer, I respect that.
He doesn't mean that.
Oh, she's talking to the mic,
breaking
the camera.
What do they call that? The fourth wall?
Right.
You know, the first time I remember ever seeing that and loving it was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know, when he's trying to, pull one over on his parents, when he's doing his fake sick thing and he's talking to the camera all the time. So
yeah, that was awesome.
That
was brilliant.
That.
But we'll see if she could pull it off as well.
I mean, that worked, but let's see how they do it throughout the whole show.
More and more eccentric superhumans are coming out of the woodwork. We're going to launch a division for them. And I want the She-Hulk to be the face of it.
Jennifer Waters. Namaste.
I have a serious conflict of interest. This man tried to kill my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
Oh. People only care because I'm representing a million.
Yeah, they brought in Abomination from the Sony movies, and that's pretty cool that they reference the movies from the other company, whatever company it was.
Right.
No, Universal, not Sony. I keep calling it Sony, but it's Universal.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool, man. I mean, and she's gonna represent him, so
yeah, so she's the
that's interesting.
Lawyer for like superheroes and villains for powered people, I guess.
Yeah, and I wasn't he gonna be one of the guys in the Thunderbolts?
I think so. I think that's probably what they're setting that up for.
Interesting.
Blonsky. I think they care because they're like, hey, that girl's great. Jen, do your thing. God, I really like this outfit. I'm not proud of this.
Miss Walters, we answer to a higher power. Our universe is on the edge of a precipice.
I am a lawyer. We do things by the book.
The Book of Ashanti.
No, the Book of American laws.
Whether you like it or not, you're now a superhero.
Let's do this. You know that friend you had in high school who was way cooler than you were attractive, got all the attention from everyone? Hello.
I think I'm jealous. Is that what I'm feeling?
Who's that?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Daredevil there at the end and you can't really see that the image is kind of dark, but he's wearing that yellowish costume that he wore in the beginning of Daredevil in the comics.
That's kind of cool, man. So what do you think, Peter?
Well,
it's going to be a comedy.
It is
basically.
The director said she was happy at the Comic-Con thing, happy to announce that this was going to be the first full-on like half-hour sitcom type of thing that Marvel's ever done. And then other people are comparing it to Ally McBeal, which is kind of dramedy like, And so, I mean, I liked Ally McBeal. I mean, back in the day, I like what Eric Thomas says because that is perfect casting. I wish Gina Carano was She-Hulk. Gina Carano from The Mandalorian, but she also got fired from Disney for saying some things that, you know, they didn't like. So
right.
Getting all political and things.
Yeah, you know what? She would have totally been.
She looks the part because she doesn't need any CG muscles, right? She just got to paint. Paint her green.
Yep. That she would have been perfect for the. But this actress looks pretty good. The CGI is within acceptable parameters. Yeah.
People like her. She was in some other show. I forget the name of it. I forgot it. I forgot the name of it. It's where she's some spy type show. I forget the name, but Eric doesn't like the fact that Gina is not allowed to work. There's been rumors that they might let her back in. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they said she was going to come back.
Yeah, there's nothing official. It's just rumors at this point, So. But
whatever. But it's don't want to get into the politics of it. But
I hate people getting canceled for just saying something.
Yeah,
whether you agree with it or not. But then again, everybody always not getting into politics of things. Everybody says, "Hey, my freedom of speech and all that." Yeah, but it's a private company. You can still, or it's not a private company; it's a public company. But it's still, you could get fired for your speech. So if they don't like your speech, they could still fire you. You're allowed to say it. Go ahead and say it, but pay the repercussions. But yeah, I agree with you. I think just it's no different. Kind of like when James Gunn got fired from Disney for some tweets that he put out like 10 years ago, and then eventually they realized that was a mistake, and they asked him to come back, and now he's doing the new Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right, so and that's going pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe they do that with her too. Realize, hey, maybe we're a little too hasty, and what you say in your private life.
Yeah, whatever. People make mistakes or whatever.
I know.
It is what it is.
Yeah. People, we love to cancel people these days. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can't do nothing.
We love to cancel people. My daughter's always telling me. I'll say something. She goes, "Dad, you're gonna get canceled." I'm like, "What? In my own house?
On my own show?"
Yeah. I'm gonna get canceled in my own house.
Well, the good things we never get political, but. Oh, look at Gina's family. Look, Richard Greenberg just has all these. So she'll be okay.
She'll be okay.
Yeah,
she'll be just fine.
he knows all these things about these people. He's a good source for just about everything.
He said Eric wants Ronda Rousey in that. Ronda Rousey's like she's tough, but she's just started losing too much, and so she was supposed to be in the. They're making a remake of that old Patrick Swayze movie.
Roadhouse?
The Roadhouse.
I said that.
Oh, did you? I was too busy thinking. I couldn't hear because the gears were turning.
The gears were going. And
the gears are turning. And they're noisy in there. Yeah, Roadhouse. She was supposed to be in the remake of Roadhouse, but apparently she's not now. So.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But okay, so I'm looking forward to watching the She-Hulk. I was a bit, I wasn't a fan for a little bit, but looking at the preview, it looks like it's going to be within acceptable parameters.
It feels like they made a trailer that is very much Marvel movie trailer. Like there may be a lot of stuff in it, too much comedy. Like I thought the last Thor, Love and Thunder had too much comedy. I got a feeling it's going to be like that, especially when the director says it's a sitcom, But I have my concerns there. But they definitely created a trailer that gives you that Marvel feel, and it's going to be full of action. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, I will watch it. I watch all of it, even if I don't like it. I watched Miss Marvel, even though I didn't love it, didn't hate it. People didn't like it because, for their stupid reasons, but as far as like, there was people that didn't like it because it's got a Muslim in it or what have you. That's all dumb stuff.
It's not, for me, it wasn't even that. It was just, I just didn't find it interesting.
I watched it and it was okay. It was just okay.
Right.
And again, not for any other reason other than I just didn't story wise, I didn't love it. My light
Right.
just died. My color light just
Yeah, I saw a little
it
thing.
just died. My color light died. I forgot to charge it before the show.
Ah, fiddlesticks. Those things happen, Peter.
Yep. So no more pretty lights.
Well,
But,
then talk about things that you wouldn't watch. Today I sent Peter a WhatsApp, and I said, "Look, here's something we can watch and talk about."
I'm not watching it.
We can watch.
I'm not
And
watching
Peter
it.
immediately said, "No, I am not gonna waste my time with that. I am not gonna." I was like, "Well, at least let's talk about it for a little bit." I mean, and I want to see what you guys think as well. We were talking. I sent them the first episodes of Beavis and Butthead just came out a couple days ago, and so I sent them that because I was like, "Hey, Peter, maybe there's something you can watch it." He was like, "No, dude, that's
It's beneath
that
me.
right. There's limits of what Peter will watch," and I told him the reason why I think he doesn't like Beavis and Butthead is because they make fun of Winger, and Winger is one of the bands that Peter Brown loves. He's big time into heavy metal.
I wouldn't say I love Winger, but I do like Winger. Come on, that's Winger's.
You got all their albums, right, Peter? Come on. Yeah.
It was back in the day when you were allowed.
He doesn't want to admit it.
No, I think I had the first one on record, and that was it.
Winger.
But now in the downloadable universe, yeah, I've got them on the old Apple Music. But
Look at that.
but you got to remember,
Beneath me is what he said.
Beneath me.
Beavis and Butthead is beneath me.
But Winger is not, right?
But Winger is not.
So I got a weird barometer, right? It's a weird barometer. But back Winger,
I had to bring out the piggy for you, buddy.
This is back in the day when you were allowed to sing about having the hots for a 17-year-old girl, and that was perfectly acceptable. Just think about that. Just think about that for a minute. That was back in the day when when bands would write songs about she's only 17.
Right.
And now the band is a little bit embarrassed to sing the song in today's. Bands like Kiss even had a song called Christine 16.
Oh, so yeah, dude. And think about it. Now these guys are they're old. So it's got to be they're older than we are.
Yeah, I mean, but they were when Christine 16 came out, it was the 70s. They were younger. They were in their 20s or something then, but it still wasn't okay. Right. And yeah, One World, One Goal says the Beatles did it too, right? Back in the day. But anyways, going off on a tangent about Beavis and Butthead is stupid, Ed. Beavis and Butthead is stupid. And you said, yes, that is right. And that's the beauty of it. I think it's just stupid. I will tell you this, Ed. I have never seen a single episode of Beavis and Butthead, and I don't plan on starting.
Never.
I've seen maybe a few clips here and there. Look, I saw they used to do commercials all the time on MTV, and I would see the commercials, and right off the bat, I knew this was not for me. And here's part of the reason, Ed. I'm a big Disney nut.
It's not the Winger thing.
No,
it's not the Winger thing.
I don't care about that. I mean, I don't care about that.
I mean, Winger must hate them because they made a lot of fun of it.
Oh yeah, I've actually seen interviews with Kip Winger, and he doesn't think it's funny because he didn't make any money off of it either. They used their name and their logo, did not ask for permission, did not make any money off it, and yes, it did ruin their career.
Wow.
So because they became the laughing stock, even though as musicians, they were way better than a lot of the musicians of their ilk, right? So they were way better musicians than, say, Poison or Motley Crue or anything, because these guys were writing very progressive music hidden in poppy choruses, right? So, they were actually really, really good. But, and yes, Richard Greenberg says, yes, they are making Roadhouse. But yeah, now with Jake Gyllenhaal, he got the role now. But anyways... So being a Disney nut, I love animation. And so I've always felt like I'm a bit of I will admit I'm a bit of an animation snob. What's wrong with it? I can't get rid of this thing. And Beavis and Butthead animation is so bad in quality. Animation meaning movement, drawings. It's horrible. And I can't.
It is.
I can't, Ed.
And I would imagine it's not going to improve because that's just
that's the signature.
Yeah. If they change it, it's going to, people might not like it. Or they might not like it like Peter Brown doesn't like it, from the get-go. He's not even going to watch it. He never watched one. He's never going to watch this.
For the same reason, I've never watched King of the Hill, which is still Mike Judge, who created both. See, I mean, I know about it, even though I never watched it. I know about it, but it's just I can't. There's too many other good things to watch. Like I will tell you, Ed, this is where I've been spending my day today, and this weekend I started watching this. This is way better than Beavis and Butthead.
I want to start watching that too.
So this, going back to DC, is a DC comic. From Neil Gaiman. I'm not exactly sure how to say his last name. But I never read the book, but I do know it's well regarded. And I'm now in the 6th episode out of 10. So, I mean, I'm crushing it.
Oh,
right
wow.
now.
You are. You're destroying that sucker. I'm going to start watching it just because you are.
All right. First 4
But
episodes.
going back a little bit to Beavis and Butthead, I'm going to watch just tomorrow. I mean, next show, I'm going to let you guys know what I think, since Peter's not going to watch it. So I hope
maybe
I don't lose any.
Maybe you twist my arm. I don't know. I don't.
I sent you the link. I mean, at least watch one of them.
I didn't need the link. All you have to do is tell me it's on Paramount. I do have Paramount. But I knew where to find it. I've seen the advertisements. It was like, oh, that's. Even my neighbor was like, hey, Beavis and Butthead. I was like, I'm not watching that stupid stuff.
Come on, Peter. Just one. What do you guys think? Should Peter watch at least one episode?
No.
Well, write it
the
in
chat's going to agree with me that
chat.
it's just pure trash.
All right. Well, talk about Sandman. Okay, you're into the 6th
Well,
episode?
no, I was just saying it's a show that I like it, but I will admit it's a very melancholy show. The lead actor, he's got his amazing deep voice, but he talks very kind of
monotone.
The whole very monotony, and it is a very kind of low key kind of show. But I still like it up until really and I'm curious what you'll think. Around the 5th episode, it was a little boring to me. And I'm into the 6th one now. But I thought the 5th was kind of boring. But One World, One Goal agrees with me. Beavis and Butthead is beneath her. No, it's beneath him. Oh, I thought she said it's beneath her.
It's beneath you.
Oh, it's beneath her too. I think she's on my side.
Don't they know who you think you are? Sheesh. Right?
Sandman, check it out. I think it's good. It's on Netflix. It came out Friday, I think.
All right. So you almost binged through the whole thing.
Eric Thomas is asking, Peter, have you ever seen Idiocracy? It's a Mike Judge movie. No, I have not. Because I had no
You're not a Mike Judge fan.
Nope. Not at all. So there's that, Ed.
Well, interesting stuff. I'm gonna definitely watch Sandman. We do have another, I think a trailer that we wanted to watch, and that's more because I'm into
dragons.
I'm dragons and stuff. I'm into monsters. I like the whole monster universe. Peter kind of likes them too. You like your monsters?
Yeah. No, I mean, I enjoy as far as monsters. A few shows ago, we talked about Godzilla stuff and all that MonsterVerse and all. I dig that. Some classic monsters, as far as classic, I read the original Mary Shelley Frankenstein. I read the original Dracula. I mean, these books that were written in the 1800s or whatever it was.
Right.
So, I like some of those classic monsters, but we're getting ready to talk about the House of Dragon. I keep calling it House of Dragons, but I think it's just House of Dragon. But so that's a Game of Thrones spinoff, and I'll be honest, I never got the hype behind Game of Thrones. So for Game of Thrones, to me, was just an excuse to show as much filth as you possibly can into a TV show, wrapped around some cool, fantasy stuff. But I just don't think it needed to go as far as they did. It's not even about the nudity so much, because there is a classic episode where the queen is naked and walks through the streets and she's pelted with things. and all that. I had no problem with that because it was impactful, it was meaningful, it meant something to the story. But just like watch. I don't know. I just thought it's I think over and above. So that's
and that's that's why you didn't like The Boys too much. Well, The Boys, it was kind of over the top though.
Yeah,
I mean,
Game of Thrones next level. They took it to the next level.
That was just over there.
But anyways, I mean, I did watch Game of Thrones, even though some of it I was just like, this is dumb, and some of it's like it's so dark and just a lot of mumbling, and I'm just like, I can't even see what's going on my TV. God forbid you watch it during the daytime, right? Because you got to have your house dark in order to see it. So you got now the House of Dragon, and the one thing I do find interesting about it is the two guys that helped create Game of Thrones, Bainoff, and I don't know the other guy's name. They're not involved with this. So they were actually, you could give them a lot of credit for the original Game of Thrones, but they also get a lot of blame for the way Game of Thrones ended. People hate them now.
Yeah, the ending. Yeah, I think I was also disappointed with the ending. It could have been, it didn't have to be a fairy tale ending, but it didn't have to be such a crappy ending either. But anyways, it is what it is. But let's talk about this is a prequel,
right?
This happened
I'll give
like
it a chance.
200 years before, the Game of Thrones that we watched, and this is basically about the what? The first episode of Game of Thrones contained murder.
Yes, contained all that, and that's when I and that's when I realized, hey, this show's really not for me, and but. It's one of those shows that I watched just because to see what the hype was all about. And I burned through a bunch of episodes after so many people talked about it. I was like, let me see what the hype is about. But even watching it, I just didn't get all the hype. There's some cool characters, there's some cool stuff, but there's a lot of just I don't know. But all right, let's take a look at the House of Dragon.
He's afoot.
It's dark.
Yeah, of course it is. They're gonna have mumbling too. A lot of British talk you can't understand.
It was clearer than a memory. And I heard the sound of thundering hooves, splintering shields and ringing swords. And I placed my heir upon the Iron Throne. And all the dragons roared as one.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
Well, who else would have a claim?
The firstborn child.
Rhaenyra. No queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
I will not be made to choose.
Well, hang on. Where is he? Let me. Oh, darn it! I went too far. I wanted to pause right on that face.
No queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
The dreadlocks.
Right? No, this guy. This is the reason to watch it, in my opinion. That's Matt Smith.
Oh,
if you're a nerd, you know Matt Smith as one of the doctors in Doctor Who. That's Doctor Who right there, Ed. That's a reason right there to watch it. Matt Smith is in this.
So, do you think?
Are they going to bring the TARDIS? Is the TARDIS going to be in there? Are we going to have some some of
the robots? What were they called?
Yeah, I forgot. That's why.
Yeah. Because we do watch it, but we do forget, and boy, do we forget. But that's awesome, man.
I grew up watching Doctor Who.
He's a great actor. I like him as the Doctor Who. And so let's keep watching a little bit more. It is dark, and the British accents that you complain about, they're everywhere.
Apparently, he was also in The Crown, which I did not watch.
Oh, you know what? And something else before you move on, Peter. What is up with? Okay, this happened 200 years before. It looks like it's this technology has not advanced in 200 years.
Well,
do these guys not?
Those
what is up
years?
with
those early years. Things didn't progress all that fast. I think we get spoiled in today's age because once they, started designing like computers, all of a sudden everything sped up real fast.
Right. But it just seems like
back in the old
it all
days,
looks the same. 200 years before, and I thought it was going to be a little not as similar to the 200 years in the future that we already saw. But
yeah, it looks more like 2 years ago is what it
exactly.
All right, here we go.
Choose between my brother and my daughter.
succession will be challenged. Knives will come out.
You are the king. Your duty is to take a new wife.
I have decided to name a new heir. I'm your heir. War is afoot.
Do you think the realm will ever accept me as their queen?
A woman would not inherit the Iron Throne, because that is the order of things.
When I'm queen, I will create a new order.
A lot of blonde people, Ed. A lot of people with white hair.
Family has dragons.
They are power men should never have trifled with.
If Rhaenyra comes into power, she can cut off any challenge to her succession.
I am to inherit the Iron Throne. She will block my way.
Our hearts remain as one.
Oh, our hearts were never one. Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne? Where is duty? Where is sacrifice? Now they see you as you are.
That is coming up.
Yeah. That's what, in 2 weeks?
Couple of weeks.
2 weeks or whatever. One World One Goal says prequels are great money-making ideas, but you have to get it right. Do you think from that trailer that they got it right? Trailer looks good.
Trailer looks good. I mean, definitely, I think people are going to be interested to see. Dragons are, the thing that brings everybody in. We got the Doctor Who connection. That's a good thing. They got the British accents that might turn some people on, might turn some people off. Like Peter Brown, for some reason, doesn't like that accent.
I don't have a problem with the British accent, but there's like in the Game of Thrones, it wasn't just British; it was British mumbling.
Right.
I don't want to watch it with the captions on. I'm not into that.
And what else? Oh, the white hair is because the Targaryen family.
Yeah, I know.
They're all, they all have that white hair. So, and this is basically about them. When there were I think this is when there were the most dragons around, when there was the most Targaryens around. So, this war is going to change that. I mean, people already know, spoiler alert, but if anybody read the books or know anything or, it's, where it changes, where everything changes for the Targaryen family. So it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see the dragons fight.
I was thinking about actually. I considered reading the books because I'm a big reader, and I considered reading them to seeing if I like the books better than the show. But I never did. I mean, there's still time, but I haven't done it. So I mean, I'll check it out. Is everybody in the chat? Are you guys excited, interesting, or are you done with Game of Thrones? I'm just curious what people think. If it's enough and you're ready to move on. I hear Richard Greenberg saying, because when you watch Game of Thrones, you can't help but think of Lord of the Rings. Got a similar look, and that series is coming out on Amazon. And I actually have that trailer too, if you want to watch it. But I don't know if that's too many trailers in one show. But it's supposed to be the most expensive TV series ever made. The Lord of the Rings TV series on Amazon Prime. Spent a bunch of money to get it, and then they're spending tons of money per episode. I don't know what the breakdown is.
Well, hopefully they get it right. They don't screw that one up because
and that's a series. I didn't love the movies. All right, let's just be honest. The first movie I thought was cool. The second movie I thought was boring. The third movie I said shoot me. And then the Hobbit.
Especially when they're in the Eagles, which they could have used the Eagles in the first place and avoided that whole long voyage.
The second movie I think it was where they were like the two hobbits were in the trees and the trees were walking. They walked for the entire 3-4 hour movie, whatever 20-hour movie, whatever it was. It seemed like it's a movie about walking. Get there already, like you said. Get on some stinking birds and get there. Whatever you gotta do.
They could have avoided the whole. They goes to save them, from the lava, and on those eagles, they should have just, gone.
But I will give it a chance too. Just like I actually think I've seen all 6 of the Lord of the Rings movies, even though I didn't. I saw the first 3 in the theaters, and then the next ones, the Hobbit and all that. I forgot what they're called, but those I saw like on HBO and stuff like that. And I think I like those a little bit better, maybe, but still not a huge fan of it. Here, Richard Greenberg coming out with some facts. Amazon spent almost $500 million for that first series for the first season. So yeah,
wow.
At one time, I think they compared it to Game of Thrones, and that Game of Thrones was like the most expensive, production for TV. And then Amazon said, "Oh, we got more money than that. We could spend more."
Yeah.
So Richard was saying, show the trailer. You want to see the trailer, and then we'll wrap up the show?
And let's do it, since he insists.
We thought the war, at last, was ended.
Visually, it looks cool, right? That scene?
Yeah.
Today, our days of peace begin.
We thought our joys would be unending. We thought our light would never dim.
The skies are strange.
It looks slow.
It is here, Galadriel. The moment we feared.
That's cool.
Evil does not sleep. It waits.
Beyond the darkness, tempting shadow, to bury us all beneath the mountain.
He has not one name, but many.
Have you heard of him, lad? Have you heard of Sauron?
If the evil rising is left unchecked, it will take us all. Find the light, and the shadow will not find you. Together we can survive this! Fight with me.
Each of us must decide who we shall be.
There can be no trust between hammer and rock. Eventually, one or the other must surely break.
You have been told many lies of Middle-earth.
Sounds like Voldemort. So we got a little longer to wait for that one. I thought it was done. What do you think, Ed?
It looks interesting. This is I guess the story of Sauron. Is that what he's talking about?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I got no clue.
Because
Richard is saying this is a prequel. So I thought this was a sequel. So that tells you what I know. I know very little about Lord of the Rings, mainly because, like I said, I kind of, didn't love it. And that's my thing, is it looks visually amazing, but it looks slow in the trailer.
It was a series, yeah. It's a series, so I don't know if it's just going to be one season or. I mean, I don't know too much about it.
No, I mean, they didn't spend that much money to get it to do one season. they want this thing to last. I mean, they spend a ton of money, not just on the production, but just to get the rights to it. Amazon is banking on it. Because here's the thing. Amazon needs a show like this. Because think about it. When you're talking about your streaming platforms, how often do you really talk about Amazon Prime? Amazon's one of the biggest companies in the world, yet their streaming service is kind of forgotten. It's got a couple of things. Like, there's a few shows on there. I watch the Jack Ryan show. There's a few
The Boys.
Yeah. That actually helped put them on the map for sure.
Right.
There's a lawyer show that I watched on there. There was Bosch that I watched on there. So there's a few things, but there's not much. You really don't talk about Amazon Prime the way you do Netflix. And so they need a show like this that puts them on the map. Just like Apple needs a similar kind of show. They need a show that puts them on the map. They did a little bit with Ted Lasso, but they need more. And so like these channels, they got to spend a bunch of money to put it One World, One Goal saying it's a slow burn on purpose, Peter. Yeah, but if it's too slow, Peter's going to check out.
Peter's going to go to sleep.
Right.
Peter's going to go watch something else. Because he doesn't watch Beavis and Butthead.
I'll turn on Beavis and Butthead instead. Richard Greenberg says they're planning on 5 years. So yeah, that makes more sense.
Right. Well, that's why it's probably going to be slow.
I want to argue with One World, One Goal for a second, just for fun, because she's third time she's mentioned The Crown. She was saying The Crown is what put Netflix on the map. She said in another chat, true, you got to have a big show like The Crown was for Netflix. Apple was for Ted Lasso. The Crown may have been a big show, but The Crown did not put Netflix on the map. I mean, I think Stranger Things came out before The Crown, didn't it, or around the same time? Stranger Things. But Stranger Things is a much bigger show than Crown. Crown was popular with some people, but I mean, it did not put them on the map. I'm just saying, I don't think so.
Just throwing that out there.
Just throwing that out there. I don't think so. I know people
throwing that out there for One World, One Goal.
I'm just coming at you, One World, One Goal.
Mm-hmm.
In fun. Richard Greenberg saying, didn't Amazon buy NFL Thursday games? Yeah, they did. They were showing some Thursday night games for the last couple of years, but now I think they have the sole rights to it. So yeah, they're working on. But to me, it's just so weird that it's taken Amazon Prime this long. They've had the service, the streaming service, for many years now, and you get it for free when you're an Amazon Prime member, because so many people, watch, or they got the free shipping. They've got Amazon Prime because they want the 2-day free shipping or whatever. I mean, a lot of us do. Right. So you get the Amazon Prime for free, and most of us kind of forget about it. So,
right. I totally forgot about it. I didn't know.
Right.
So.
Right. I mean, but like I said, there's a handful of good shows. The Jack Ryan show, which is based off Tom Clancy books, and it's got the guy from The Office on there, Krasinski, I think is his name. That's a good show. And then there's a Billy Bob Thornton Goliath, Billy Bob Thornton TV show where he's like a drunk lawyer. That did like 3 seasons on that. I think it's done. And
wow, he does a lot of drunk stuff because he also did the drunk.
He's great at being drunk.
Santa Claus and
Bad Santa.
Yeah, the Bad Santa thing. And he's a good drunk.
Yeah, he's good at being drunk. So. Anyways, Ed, so there's lots of fun stuff coming up on to watch. We'll have lots of fun things to talk about in upcoming shows, and we got to stay tuned to see what DC is going to do with after what is their 10-year plan going to look like, and hopefully we find that out in soon.
Right. Guys, thanks for joining us. I think we did we did 3 previews. That was cool.
Yeah, I considered leaving the Lord of the Rings for next week, but
But you guys insisted. You made us do it. So I'm looking forward to next week. We're gonna talk about some more nerdy stuff. I hope you guys join us. And Peter, any last thoughts?
just please like, share, and subscribe. And it was a lot of fun. I like arguing with you guys, even if it's over The Crown. But and Beavis and Butthead, you know, I would. Here's the. I'll watch
and the Wonder Twins.
I'll watch The Crown before Beavis and Butthead.
Oh wow, that's
and I'm
that's
not watching.
a lot.
I'm not watching The Crown either. Just saying. Doesn't look like my kind of show. Anyways, thanks.
Well, guys, don't forget to watch Football Miami TV. We every Sunday at 7 p.m. live. We talk about the latest Inter Miami stuff, and we again this show every Monday. The day right after you get to see us 2 days in a row. You get to watch these ugly mugs 2 days in a row. And hopefully Peter will eventually get around to making that video of the we did a few food review.
Yes,
so,
yes,
at the stadium.
I did.
Oh, I was going to ask you what toy did you bring? Were you going to bring out today? Nice.
Lady Thor. I had this one way before they actually even made the Thor movie, and then Spider-Man. Anyways, I got tons of pop characters. So, anyways, tune in next week to see what other pop character I bring out. See you, everybody. Thanks so much for watching.